No time for small talk. You're here to learn how streaming works, right? So let's get straight into it. Starting with video streaming, Netflix probably has the best architecture for supporting video streaming. But before we get into their architecture patterns, let's get some basic info out the way. Have you ever seen a media file for a movie or TV show? Or even a high quality 10-minute YouTube video? Those files get pretty big, right?
Wow.
Often thousands of megabytes in size or even gigabytes. I say that to say this. The average bandwidth for homes in America is about 119 megabits per second. If you take a 1 hour 4K video, which is about 14 gigabytes in size, give or take, that's not fitting in a 119 megabit internet pipe. It's just not going to work. We can forget about it.
Streaming solves that by breaking down that 14 gigabytes file into much smaller data packets. Think of it this way, the 14 gigabytes movie is a completed puzzle, and that puzzle is made up of 14,000 much smaller pieces to make up the whole. Fitting 1 megabyte into 119 megabyte pipe is much easier. But, when you break down a file, upon reaching the destination it must be put back together again. Each packet is coded with a sequence so that when it reaches the other side it can be put together frame by frame in the correct order.
That's at a high level the basic concept of streaming. If you want to get the full rundown of streaming, you may want to click the link in the description to subscribe to the Hey Strategist newsletter. This month's topic is streaming, and as I do, I explain it all. Moving on to architecture patterns using Netflix as the model, meaning this is not exactly how it works, but loosely based. Starting off here at the source, let's say Happy Madison Productions, for example, they have a movie file that's the best of the best quality, a raw file footage, or whatever you want to call it. This is key because you want to start off with the best quality, as it doesn't quite work as well to start off with a terrible quality file and try to improve it later.
The file is then chunked, in other words broken down into frames, then a quality check is performed on each gram to ensure the best end product. If something doesn't meet the standard, processing is stopped and sent back. If all goes well though, the file is sent to a data center server and stored. The file is then compressed, chunked again and encoded, which is shrinking the file and applying a set of instructions for playback that displays the correct resolution and matching sound. Next up, the file has to be protected, or better yet encrypted.
DRM, or digital rights management to be specific, this encrypts the file to ensure only authorized users can view it. Wrapping the file in encryption, and authorized users have to have the key to decrypt it and play it back. This is followed up with digitally watermarking the video, or some call it forensic watermarking. This is including tags of information within the video, but done stealthily, so the user can't see it. This tracks information about the video and the user watching it, making screen capturing, stealing and redistributing the video trackable. It may not be stopped, but when the video is found, there will be evidence within the video that will prove who did it, what device they were on, and whose account they were on when the video was screen recorded.
The file is then distributed to the Content Delivery Network, better known as CDN. It uses an internet exchange site, better known as an X space site, to do the handoff. This is a location where SFI is established. This is a settlement-free interconnect, where costs for playing on the internet are avoided. This improves trust among two parties, quality of service and resiliency. Here is where Netflix stands out. When the content makes its way to the CDN, which sits with the ISP, Internet Service Provider, they also install their Open Connect appliance. They take care of the install and upkeep of these appliances. Their appliances though is better suited for handling and storing the media.
Place the video file in all its encoded formats directly at the CDN. This helps with faster delivery to the customer, because it doesn't have to track all the way back to Netflix Cloud Data Center to get the file and deliver it back to you. It's closer to you as it's housed with your local ISP. You as a user request to watch The Wrong Missy. Your local ISP processes the request, and since this is a Netflix title, it will consult the OCA, The OCA will validate that you are a paid subscriber and provide the decryption key to stream the movie. It will then validate what your internet speed and quality of video you can support in playback and adjust the packet sizes of the video that best scales to your bandwidth and supported resolution and piece the video back on your TV in real time.
Let's discuss differences. YouTube, let's say.
YouTube differs by where the content is stored. You have to take the track back to their cloud data center just about each time for a video, which is not bad because these are generally smaller videos.
But when a video goes viral, it is then given VIP treatment and placed on the CDN.
So share, like, and watch this video and get me on the CDN.
Let's switch it up and get into music.
Ah, yes. Music. Gotta love it. Using Spotify as the most popular, when a song is requested, Spotify will first check to see if you listened to the song before, to see if it's cached on your phone, as all songs are cached upon listening unless you disable this option.
What happens if it's not cached?
The CDN will take the request and go right back to your device to determine your location and to check to see if anyone nearby or locally, not sure how large of an area it covers to be honest, has listened to this song you requested, and it will in turn leverage the cached song on their device and serve it to you, unless you have GPS location disabled in the app, in which case it will find the song at the source and stream it back.
We are on a roll, let's keep this going. Let's tackle cloud gaming, which is streaming a video game and playing it in real time.
Video games has not by any means been perfected yet, but how it slightly differs from music and video, let's see. At the cloud data center, these video games are stored. When requested, it follows the same authorization back and forth to establish you have access. It will then in real time spin up what's called a virtual machine. This is just a computer based on software and not physical hardware like a laptop. The game will begin and start a session for you. This is then shared to the CDN and streamed from there. Here's the tricky part. This is not a one-way communication like movies or songs, where you listen or watch and that's it. The game player will be making inputs using a controller. This has to be interpreted and fed back to the virtual machine immediately without delay.
That does sound tricky. What happens when there is a delay in the network?
Package drop and input commands are lost and or lag, and that may result in whether you win or lose a game. There is still some way to go with this, but Stadia, rest in peace, and Xbox Cloud Gaming have made strides, but not perfected the experience by any means.
Bummer. Moving on, live television, like sporting events, are those different than video streaming?
No, not really. Instead of having a source file be saved and processed, the packets of a live stream are processed in real time directly to the viewer. Established networks, ESPN, for example, have the infrastructure to support this and not drop packets with highly resilient infrastructure. However, a common YouTuber or even the average music artist may not have this infrastructure, and this is how you end up with glitchy live streams. The pandemic versus battles are prime examples of this.
You always have the answer. I think that's a wrap.